What up, world? This is your boy, the comedian Leger, bringing you another episode of Where in the World is the Comedian Leger. Today, we're going to take a drive down Spanaway Loop. And just at the end of the loop, when you come around the bend, you'll see protesters. They're trying to stop the homeless village at Cross Base Highway and Spanaway Loop. Let's get out and take a listen.
So I live in the Parkland community, and yeah, there's a certain amount of homeless throughout, of course, but that's not the issue here. The issue is the environmental portion, the impact of this, where it's being located at.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Currently, a huge concern is what's happening in the forest, in Griezmann's Forest, Pierce County. When you take a look at this land, all the green, that's all property owned by the county. This is the opposite end of the lake of Coffee Creek. You see, Coffee Creek is the water flow that flows through Spanaway Lake. They want to put a homeless community surrounded by wetlands. There is no access to that little island of land that is surrounded by endangered wetlands. That place used to be, Dorothy Schmeckel lived there. It was a Thomas Kincaid painting. Beautiful property. Cross Base Freeway, they could not get it to go through because all the local farmers hired Greenpeace to stop it. Now the idea of building a homeless village, we already have a problem. Their representatives are pushing them out on the county because they don't want the homeless in the city. And so, yeah, let's just move them right down Pacific Avenue. Here is a really interesting point because everything about this homeless village is insane. You don't take mentally ill people and put them in an environment that is mimicking war. We have mortars, bombs, helicopters, jets. The earth shakes, the windows rattle, and you are going to tell me that these people who don't live in the same reality that we do don't understand that this isn't a real war?
It's a recipe for disaster.
Bob Peterson, and I live on the lake, south end of the lake there. So this is his baby, driven by him, and he knows he's breaking the law. Bruce Stanmeyer, Pierce County Executive. Like, the mission is supposed to be running this thing? There's no way. If you look at the bill of sale, which I did on the community, or the Pierce County property listings, you can get that. And it's listed as them, but that's not true. It's being funneled through them.
Because the person who's portraying themselves as the buyer will never be the buyer. And I know that because it's the buyer's name and or assigns. Now, if you didn't know anything about that, let me tell you, that is in anonymity. They're trying to keep it a secret.
I want to stop the village. When I asked my council person, do the residents have to be clean to live here? In other words, do they have to be drug-free? No, they don't have to be drug-free. So if you want to house them, how about if we put them through treatment first and they come to a village clean? Then they might have a shot at recovery. But the way that this is being run, it's going to be you're housing a bunch of addicts in an inappropriate area, and it's a recipe for disaster. I just know that this is not the way. They need to go through treatment. They need to be in recovery when they're being housed.
Well, where are they going to go through treatment at?
That's a good question. In fact, you know what? I'd be all for the $62 million being spent on a treatment center, but that's not how the Fed dollars are attached to this.
And they know that every step that they're doing here is illegal. You know what this is right here? You know why it stops right here?
Why?
This was going to be the cross-base highway that went from basically the Meridian in Puyallup all the way to I-5, which is badly needed. This would go straight through to the freeway. They stopped this because at the last second, after a bunch of approvals, because the EPA said, nah, it's wetlands, it'll be affected. So it stopped. Now, these guys say, oh yeah, we had an EPA evaluation, and they said we're good to go. That can't be true either.
Coffee Creek is right here, right where they want to build the village. No, right in front of you.
Oh, this,
right there.
just
That's
here.
Coffee Creek.
Really?
We are Coffee Creek. For 17 years, I watched what was happening to Coffee Creek as 125 families moved in. Drain fields and septics right on the creek. We're talking about homes, condominiums that are 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 feet from the creek. We have no sewer here. The sewers are miles and miles and miles away. Well, the problem is those pipes that were installed over 50 years ago have seen their life. And my question is, did the county ever replace that pipe that goes under the creek? There are condominiums in there where have been sinking since the 1980s because they should have never been built that close to the creek.
Yeah. About 289 units they're proposing, right? 289 modular tiny homes are being considered or factored in, proposed at this point. And
It can be multiple people, and they've also revised it to, it's not just tiny homes now, it is park model RVs.
No, they do not. They don't care. In fact, our representative doesn't even live in the community. I have lived on Spanaway Lake for 50 years. 50 years.
So you want everybody to meet you when and where?
When's the meeting?
The 15th at Sprinkler Rec Center.
Yeah, Sprinkler Rec Center on the 15th of November at 6:30 p.m.
Thank
Or for the military, 18:30.